Welcome back to the Organism of the Month at the Bean Museum. This month we're going to learn about the Wunderpus, which might sound strange, but it's just a name to mean a wonderful looking octopus. Grab your snorkels and let's get cracking. Wunderpus are a kind of zebra-striped octopus found in warm waters, mainly near Indonesia and the Philippines. The scientific name of a Wunderpus is Wunderpus photogenicus, which literally just means wonderful photogenic octopus. With such a reputation, you might be surprised to know that the Wunderpus wasn't recognized as its own species until 2006. It used to get lumped together with something called the mimic octopus, until I suppose it won a beauty pageant and got to be called the wonderful one. Oh, and now that we know how to say Wunderpus in Greek, let's go ahead and learn how to say it in sign language. The reason the distinction between the Wunderpus and the mimic octopus took so long to make is because Wunderpus are notoriously challenging to study. Of course, it would be impossible for a scuba diver to follow a Wunderpus around for its entire life, which is why most research, especially for aquatic animals, is done in zoos and aquariums. Wunderpus really don't like aquariums though. If you put one in a glass tank, it will die of stress in a matter of just a few weeks, which makes it a pretty terrible pet, by the way, but for some reason doesn't stop people from trying. Scientists have tried other methods to study the Wunderpus. Of course, you can't put a GPS collar on an octopus. They can fit through a hole 1/10 the size of their body. Some scientists have even tried implanting GPS devices inside of the tissue of the Wunderpus, but they've even figured out how to remove them from themselves. These guys sure don't make it easy to study them. At the very least, the Wunderpus is not very afraid of humans, and if you do come across one scuba diving, it's likely to swim right up to you out of curiosity. The things we do know about the Wunderpus are pretty cool though. First of all is the way they hunt. A Wunderpus is about 10 inches long, so they feed mainly on small fish, invertebrates, and crabs. One way they'll find food is to swim around a coral reef and stick their tentacles into any gaps or holes that they find at the lucky chance that something yummy is waiting inside. Lots of octopus species will do this, but the Wunderpus actually has relatively small suckers on its tentacles. To make up for this, it's come up with a cool new way to hunt. Wunderpus can expand the skin around their tentacles to form sort of a net or a web. Then they'll take this net and cover an entire rock or piece of coral and suck anything that might be inside right into their beak. Since the Wunderpus doesn't have any bones or an exoskeleton, it usually takes its prey back to a safe spot before eating it. For this same reason, they've also developed mimicking behaviors to scare away would-be predators. Because of its coloration and its 8 tentacles, the Wunderpus is able to mimic the lionfish and the sea crate. Both of these are venomous species, so they're the perfect mimics to scare away would-be predators. When the Wunderpus mimics the lionfish, it balls itself up and pokes out some of its tentacles to mimic the lionfish spines. Or the Wunderpus can bury 6 of its tentacles under the sand and stretch 2 tentacles in opposite directions to mimic the sea crate. I think that's pretty tentacool. Another really cool thing we know about them has to do with the mimic octopus that I mentioned earlier. It turns out there's a lot of bad blood between them. Oh, and did you know that octopus blood is blue? The Wunderpus is very aggressive towards the mimic octopus, and if it comes across one, it will wrap its tentacles around the base of its mantle. When this part of the mimic octopus is wrapped, it's unable to release its defensive ink, and water is unable to flow past its gills, so eventually, the mimic octopus will drown. And that's all for this month. Hopefully you've learned an incredible fact or two. If you did, you can tell something you learned to a museum educator in a green shirt, and you'll earn the Wunderpus bio card. You can also find a Wunderpus coloring page on the Bean Museum website, or come to Discovery Reading and Coloring every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Submit your drawing to the monthly coloring contest, and you might just be the winner and earn a cool prize. Good luck, guys. See you later.